Lisa says that she was lied to by a psychotic sociopath named Sarah.
I do believe about 95% of what Sarah says is a lie.
Jeff says his family could be in serious danger because of Sarah's lies.
I have become afraid for my own family because of the lies Sarah has told.
Junior says he had to get a protection order against Sarah last Monday and is pressing charges against her for writing false checks in his name.
Sarah wrote bad checks totaling somewhere around $15,000.
Steve says he was also lied to by this scam artist, Sarah.
I don't feel like the Dr. Phil show has enough chairs in the audience to seat all the people that Sarah has scammed and lied to.
Well, the people you just heard from are all family members of Sarah who say they're ready to completely cut ties with her for good. This is Sarah. She admits to writing bad checks, telling multiple lies, including pretending to be a nurse, and posting a picture on Facebook in her Hello Kitty scrubs. She even went as far as faking her own father's death and posting it on Facebook to gain sympathy.
Sarah is just a compulsive liar. Her whole life is surrounded around lies, and I don't think she knows any other way. I believe she is a sociopathic liar, and I believe she could be psychotic. Sarah can lie to your face.
Sarah's an extreme scam artist, will steal from her family, her grandparents, her best friend, her husband.
At one point, she told me that her employer was allowing her to pay bills on his credit card and that he was going to take it out of her check.
I'm very impulsive. When I want to do something, I want to do it, whether it means lying to somebody, bouncing a check, hurting people.
She writes bad checks to get cars, to have a wedding, to get anything.
I've bounced checks to get houses and apartments. I didn't want to sleep outside. I didn't want to be homeless. If I tried to give you an amount of money, of bad checks that I've bounced, I don't know, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
I don't feel like my sister's mentally stable. Sarah has been caught for check fraud, and somehow Sarah just never gets in trouble. Her lies are just so good that even the police believe her.
I could be caught red-handed and I'll just keep denying it, and I'll lie to cover up that lie.
I believe when it comes down to Sarah's lies, schemes, and manipulation, I don't believe we've even scratched the surface.
Well, we're going to talk to all those people who have an issue with Sarah later on. But first, even though Sarah has recently started to admit some of her lies, she actually says she's the one that's upset with her sister Lisa for acting like Little Miss Perfect.
Growing up, Lisa and we were pretty close. Over the years, my relationship with Lisa has changed a lot.
I do not trust Sarah.
Lisa's pulled away from me because of my lifestyle. She never answers her phone when I call.
I do tend to ignore Sarah. I have a lot going on in my life. To be able to get the energy to listen to some of the things Sarah has up her sleeve, it takes a lot out of me.
It comes off that she thinks she's better than me.
I don't feel like I'm better than her. I have some better things going on in my life, like graduating college, having a job, and having a stable relationship.
I'm very jealous of her. If I was not her sister, she would not even look at me.
I love Sarah to death, but I cannot say that I have any respect for Sarah or the things she does.
Lisa, you wrote in to the show, and you have an objective, a goal. What is it?
To get Sarah help.
Do you need help?
Yes.
So I want to talk about two things today. I want to talk about what you do, but I also want to talk about why you do it. How does one tell in dealing with you whether you're lying or telling the truth?
You can't. Sometimes I can't.
Well, here are some of the things that you admit to. You admit that you lied about your dad's death.
Yes.
You just told people he was dead.
I mean, yes, I did.
And did you tell siblings he was dead?
Yes.
Okay. Take me through the moment. I know we're just on point one and we got pages of this, but take me through the moment that you decide, I'm going to tell my brother that our father is dead. Take me through the moment that you thought, here's a good idea.
I don't really remember the exact moment.
Yes, you do. What was your objective? What was your goal? What were you trying to do?
It wasn't about them. It wasn't about, it was about, I convinced myself that that was happening. I cried as if that had happened to myself. Like, I was feeling...
Is this because you're a method actor or you're delusional?
No.
Well, it's one of the two, right?
And I know that I think that people think that this is funny, but it's not funny.
No, you know
this
what?
is serious.
You know what? Before you get on your high horse, let me tell you something. They're thinking, they're laughing about the outrageousness of it. They're not laughing because they think it's funny, because there's not anybody in this room that thinks it's funny for a sibling to tell their brother or sister that their parent has died. Nobody finds humor in that. What they find humor in is the outrageousness of it. And my question to you, you said, I believed it. So that means you are either delusional, you deluded yourself into believing it, or you are a method actor, which many liars are. I'm trying to understand.
I forced myself to believe that and feel that so I didn't have to feel what I was feeling.
And you didn't care about Lisa or Steve or anybody else?
No, I did not. I did not care at that
moment.
moment.
Gotcha. Okay, you lied about your profession, saying you were a nurse.
I have lied about my profession, not recently. I have lied about it.
Well, that seems like a distinction without a difference. You mean you're not currently pretending to be a nurse?
No.
But you have in the past?
Yes, when people have said, what do you do for a living? I say, I'm a nurse.
You told people that your son was a product of rape?
Yes, I have.
And your goal and objective?
One lie, I always have to tell another lie, to cover up another lie, to cover up another lie, to cover up another lie. And that was the end result of that lie.
Okay, you forged checks.
I've bounced checks in my own name, and I've bounced checks in my husband's name, yes.
But you forged checks?
Yes, I've forged checks in his name.
Okay, you said you came here for help.
Yes, I have forged checks in his name, yes.
This is the help, because
Yes.
you can't change what you don't acknowledge. You've taken other people's checks, forged the amounts and or signatures and or both in order to get money.
Yes.
The brother Sarah lied to about their father's death is actually here, and he says that he'll never forgive his sister. We're going to start getting down to the reality of this situation when we come back.
You stated on Facebook, Sarah's a piece of she will always be a piece of Then why are you here if you believe that?
Because I believe you're a piece of that needs help.
Oh.
And later, Stephen Jr. went 2 agonizing days believing his father was dead. Well, guess who's on the phone right now?
I believe Sarah does suffer from a mental disorder. She will take your money, and Sarah has no remorse.
When I get caught, on the outside, it looks like I don't have any remorse, but on the inside, I'm a mess. It's so shameful. It's so embarrassing. It's almost like, where do you go? What do you do?
Well, Lisa is here, and she says her sister Sarah is a sociopathic liar who she believes is actually psychotic. And Sarah admits she has a problem with telling the truth, but doesn't know how to stop spinning her never-ending web of lies. Now, Sarah's brother Steve says she has been lying since they were children, but recently, he says she crossed the line.
Last week, I got a bunch of texts on my phone late at night, and they said 911, call your sister. My father had died. I was completely devastated. I was upset because I didn't get to say goodbye to my father.
Stephen was so distraught. I felt just awful for my brother.
Sarah explained that she had seen my father after he died and signed his release form for the funeral home to pick him up. Sarah even went on Facebook and wrote, my brother and I have just lost my father. I just wanted to go to the hospital and see him one last time before the funeral home took him. Later on that night, I got a call from my stepmother, and she said, well, hold on, let me put you on the phone with your father. This was absolutely just another one of Sarah's scams.
I made up a lie about my father's death.
I am very furious with Sarah. When I informed everybody that my father was still alive, Sarah then told people, don't listen to my brother. He is a drug addict and he hasn't slept for 4 days.
Stephen is a heroin addict.
Sarah is fabricating a lie. I've never done heroin.
Sarah's just not all there. She's completely out of her mind.
Well, Steve's girlfriend, Sherry, is also here.
let's all attack Sarah and say what we feel about Sarah, but I can share how I feel as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what would you like
So
to
if
do?
we're here to help me, then we're here to help me, right? But you're really not here to help me.
Oh, I'm pissed off as
That's fine, and I would be pissed off too. And I came here ready to have people
You came here for
be
pity.
angry.
Yeah, I'm not sorry for
I
you.
came here for pity.
Listen, I'm not sorry for you.
I came here. I don't want you to be sorry.
Let me
for
ask
me.
you a question.
Let me explain something to
things
you
that
first
you've
of
seen
all.
me do. What
why are
have
you
you
here?
seen me do?
Can you tell me why you're here?
Because I'm here to save your life,
Oh,
Sarah.
but 26
don't
minutes
realize-
before 10:32 last night on Facebook, I screenshotted
I told you
it.
you would be dead to me if you don't come.
You stated on Facebook, Sarah's a piece of She will always be a piece of
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Did you not say
yes,
that? Then
yes,
why are
yes,
you here
I
if
did.
you believe that?
Because I believe you're a piece of that needs help.
Oh.
What am I? Let's get to what I am.
I want to know what you
Let's
are.
get to what I am. I
What
have
are
a question for you. You said
I have an
you believe
answer.
I'm a heroin addict from things that you've seen me do. Please respond. What have you seen me do?
Okay, let me just be
What?
real clear. Hang on a minute. Let's just be real clear. This is a complete and total manipulation, which is a deflection. We're starting to talk about some things that are really uncomfortable for me, so I need to start a damn fight here. I need to start pointing fingers. I need to get somebody else.
Absolutely.
Because what has happened is we're now not talking about her.
Exactly.
Do you think he's earned the right to be a bit upset
Yes,
with you?
absolutely. I think that I'm not discounting that he should be upset, and I'm not discounting that. This is just hard.
But
He thinks like when he says that I came here for pity, like you don't even know what it took to come here. You have no idea how hard it was to come here.
I'm sorry.
How long I sat at the airport for and almost didn't get on the plane. I missed my first flight.
Do you
I wasn't going to come here, and I didn't come here because I was going to be dead to you or I was going to be dead to you. I came here because I don't understand anymore in my own self. And you don't know how that feels. Like, you guys could be angry and sad, but imagine not understanding why you do things. You ask,
Sarah,
people ask me why.
I've seen this act from you before about 100 times.
Then get out of my life.
I'm sorry.
Because I have never
absolutely.
stepped up
I
and said,
have
hey,
no
I'm
problem.
sick. I need help. I've never done that.
You don't
Yes, you have.
to, and I'm not angry at you. I'm honestly not angry for the fact that I know that you have psychological issues, and I know when someone is mentally unstable and has some psychological issues that it's not, most of the stuff they're doing, they're not even doing it on purpose. And I'm not angry, I'm sad. I am so sad for you that you have this going on. I am so sad that you can't roll and you don't have a normal life. You live this web of lies, and that's all you've ever lived, is lies after lie after lie.
I want to talk about what it is that got you so upset. And I have an email exchange here between the two of you. And I'm going to begin it where you say, you will never know what you put me through, and for that I will never forgive you, Sarah. Right? Now, this is when she has told you that your father died. Now, when you were informed that your father died, how did you feel?
I just broke down in tears. I couldn't take it. It devastated me.
You say, Stephen, I'm going to bed. You should do the same. I don't understand why you're having such a hard time accepting this. To which you say, because you can't offer me one shred of evidence, and everything you've said can't be verified. Stephen, I'm in the same boat as you. Same boat. So that makes me a liar? You say, oh my God, dude, just stop. This is an all-time low, even for you. You need help, and honestly, I feel sorry for you. You felt the need to do all of this? I really do. You will never know what you put me through, and for that, I will never forgive you. Where do you come up with this stuff? Then there's this insertion, she said you were in denial. Who are you talking about?
I don't
She was
know.
referring to my mother.
Yeah.
I told a lie, got caught, he knows the truth, but I'm sticking with it. You're in denial. Accept it. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. Stay with it, right? Well, guess who's on the phone right now? Steve Sr., are you dead?
No, not yet.
And later, what you did here was you went and added a 9 to the 50 so you could scam $900. So Stephen Jr. Went 2 agonizing days believing his father was dead. Well, guess who's on the phone right now? Steve Sr., are you there?
Yeah.
Are you dead?
No, not yet.
Steve, how did you learn that that others had been told you were dead?
Oh, apparently, little Steve had been over at a friend's house, which is a friend of my wife's son. And he called and said that Steve was over there and upset and was told that I was dead. So I called him up on the phone, and he didn't even believe it was me that was talking to him. He went to see me, and I told him, I'd come by the house, sit down and find out what's going on. And still yet, I'm not quite sure what's going on still. I mean, I've been talking to my family members, my brothers and sisters, up till late last night, calling them and hearing the same thing. They didn't believe it was me on the phone. They were told I was dead.
How do you feel about the fact that she said you were dead?
I feel that's kind of a hard one to answer because, I mean, my heart first goes out to, a lot of my fans, but it goes out to Steve first because, I talked to him, I've seen him, I heard him, I've seen the pain he was in, and for her to put him through that and keep it up and go into full details about how to keep my body and at the mortuary and being cremated, weighed 90 pounds. I died on the couch at some guy's house. She just kept the story going and going, and
No, I didn't. What did I say?
As you're talking, she's denying part of this. Did you say he was in the mortuary?
I said he was in the morgue, but I never said that I seen his body.
Okay, did you say that he was cremated?
No, I said that we would cremate him.
And
yes.
did you say you were paying half of that, $1,000, to have him cremated?
I said that I would, yes. I didn't say that I had or that I did. And I didn't say that he died on the couch. I never said
She
that.
also said to other people that no, I wasn't cremated yet because only half was paid, and she had to come up with the
I
other
did
half.
not say half was paid. I said that nothing had been paid. That's what I said.
But you needed the money to pay because they wouldn't let you see our father's
I didn't
body.
ask for money. I said that I was
you
coming up
didn't?
with money. Who did I ask for money from?
Well, my mother told me that you already received money from a friend.
No, I did not. Call Mom right now. No, I did not.
Okay.
You did say he was dead, and you told your brother. Why? I said I want to talk about what you did and why. What you did was tell your brother that his father was dead and put him through one of the most agonizing things we go through in life that he's now going to have to go through again if he outlives his father. So he gets to do that twice, thank you. Now, why did you do that?
I don't know why I did it.
Well, just if you did know why.
At the time, I wanted to. It wasn't about anybody else. It was about me.
Okay, well,
Selfishly about me.
Okay, but tell me.
And
tell me how it's about you to tell him that his father's dead and put him through that.
I don't know
shocking
why.
grief.
If I knew why, I wouldn't be here. That's why I'm here. I don't know why.
We're finding out. This is part of the question.
So you're going to keep asking me the same
Yes.
question. I'm going to give you the same answer. I
Yes.
don't know why. That's why I'm here.
Well, then that's why you're here, and you're in the right place. You had a reason. You picked up the phone and delivered this message rather than picking up the phone and ordering a pizza or picking up the phone and calling a friend. You picked up the phone and delivered the message that your father was dead. Don't tell me you don't know why, because you do.
No, I don't.
So this was just a random act. It could have been you just picked up the phone and just erped it up. You had no idea that you were getting ready to do that. It just this my father's dead. You just said that it was no premeditation. You didn't know when you dialed that phone what you were going to say.
No, I knew what I was going to say when I dialed the phone. I don't know why that lie.
What is it you were trying to deflect from or get away from?
I was in pain. I was in pain.
Okay, and what was your pain about?
My marriage was ending. My husband wasn't home. It was like 3 a.m. He hadn't been home in days, and I was alone.
Okay, so you see, I kept asking you 5 or 6 times, and you do have an answer. You have an answer. You said, I did it because I was in pain, my marriage was falling apart, I was feeling lonely, and I just did this.
I know that at that moment I wanted to stop feeling what was really happening. And dealing with something that's not real, it still hurts, but it's easier to deal with than it's real.
So you thought it was easy to escape into a fantasy than deal with the reality?
Yeah, it is. For me, it is. It is easier for me.
Okay, that's helpful to me. That's informative to me. I put that on my list. So you remember that forged check we talked about? Well, we're going to take a closer look at it because the man who owns the account is here. In fact, it's Sarah's third husband. He found out the truth about his wife when the cops busted down their door with guns drawn, pointed right at him. We'll be right back.
All of my problems with Junior have been between lying and writing bad checks. I was arrested.
The police came to my house around 7 o'clock in the morning, and they kicked open my door. My greatest fear is that I'll go to prison and lose my freedom over what she's done.
And later, I distrust her so much that I put a password on my son's social security number so Sarah can't steal his identity.
Sarah is 27 years old and has been married 3 times. I believe Sarah has lied and scammed all of her husbands. When she first got with her current husband, she told him that she had grandparents who had passed and that she would be receiving an inheritance. Our grandparents are alive and well. It actually ashames me to see what Sarah's doing to everybody.
Well, Sarah has already been through 2 failed marriages. Now, husband number 3 says he doesn't understand what he did to deserve a wife like Sarah. Take a look.
Sarah is very much a compulsive liar.
All of my problems with Junior have been between lying and writing bad checks.
I first knew that there was a problem when I started seeing things that didn't add up.
8 months ago, I wrote a bad check for $9,000 for my wedding. The lady that I wrote the check to for the wedding coordination has filed a lawsuit.
I'm being sued for $10,000. I do not have that kind of money.
2 months ago, I was arrested.
The police came to my house around 7 o'clock in the morning, and they kicked open my door. They drew a gun and detained me.
I was taken to jail. Recently, I found a check that was written for $50 to my husband.
My brother gave me a check on our wedding day for $50.
I put a 9 in front of it and I deposited it. Junior was furious. The night that he found out about it, he went crazy on me.
I feel betrayed, humiliated.
Last week, Junior presented a restraining order on me.
My greatest fear is that I'll go to prison and lose my freedom over what she's done.
I'm his wife. He's my husband. I need help, and he turned his back on me.
Well, Sarah's third and current husband, Junior, is going to join us via Polycom. Junior, she actually robbed your bank in this situation. She took a check and forged it.
Yeah, she did.
How much?
The $9,000 check.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's the first instance of when I found out that she was writing bad checks.
Okay, and that was for the wedding, correct?
Yeah, that was for the wedding.
Okay. And you admit that, right?
Yes.
But then that wasn't the last. That was just the first check, right?
There's been, I think, 2 or 3
And
more.
that did hit the fans. So you'd think big wake-up call there.
Yeah.
But that didn't stick because you did. In fact, I actually have it. There is this check that was, Junior, this was for $50, correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir, it was.
Yeah, this was a wedding gift check, and what you did here was you went and added a 9 to the 50 so you could scam $900, right?
Yes.
And did you deposit it or cash it? What did you do with it?
I deposited it.
You deposited it, and it got actually added to your account, right?
Yes.
So they missed the fact that it said $50 here. They just read the number up there, $900, and so you, at that point, had stolen $900.
Yes.
And this was from someone that gave you a gift.
Yes.
So someone gives you a gift, and rather than a thank you note, you steal $900 from them.
Yes, that's what I did. I've been doing this for so long. I can't remember when I haven't been like this. I didn't just wake up one day and say, oh, I'm gonna go bounce checks and do check fraud. Oh, I'm gonna hurt my husband. I'm gonna break my sister's heart. I'm gonna bring my brother to his knees. I didn't wake up one day and just say, like, this sounds like a good idea, let's do it. This has been progressive and progressive. I can remember lying about serious things as early as like 7 years old, okay? That's how long ago I can remember.
Yeah, but you didn't wake up one day and say don't either,
No, I
did you?
didn't, because it's like one lie after another. I didn't want to come out here and put my guard up, but I feel like my guard is up, and I feel like this makes me like want to say, forget it. Like
knock yourself out. Do whatever you want. And if you want to get self-righteous and sanctimonious and storm off of here, knock yourself out. I don't care. But I'm going to tell you the truth one time in your life, whether you like it or whether you don't. And, you know, you can play the, oh, I'm just getting humiliated. You humiliate yourself with your conduct. You do that to you. They don't do it to you. I don't do it to you.
They are humiliating me or that you are humiliating me. I said I was prepared for this. I was prepared to be humiliated. I was prepared for this to hurt. Mm-hmm. The things that I've done to him, I don't know how I'll begin to repair that. I don't know how I'll begin to fix that. I don't. How do you apologize to people? Like, it seems almost like it's slapping them in the face to say, I'm sorry.
Well, here's a suggestion.
Stop doing it.
You own it. You stop doing it. You stop justifying it. And you stop getting on a high horse when somebody has the audacity to call it what it is. Mm-hmm. It's lying, cheating, stealing, and betraying. That's what it is. That's what it is. And you say it's ridiculous that he puts a restraining order against you? My God, you are abusing him. I mean, you're stealing money from him. You're lying to him. Did you tell him that you were going to get an inheritance?
Yes, I did. When we very first. Well, yes, I did. Doesn't matter when or how.
Was that true?
No.
Let's take a break here. Lisa's husband, Jeff, says that if I invited everyone Sarah scammed to the show, that we'd have to do it at the LA Coliseum. We're going to see why he is so upset with her next.
I have become afraid for my own family because of the lies Sarah has told.
I've never done anything to show that I can't be trusted with my nieces and nephews.
Sarah has burned so many bridges, hurt so many people. One day she's gonna hurt the wrong person and they're gonna wanna turn around and retaliate against her.
I'm afraid that somebody could come after our family or come after Sarah when she is with our family. If Sarah is capable of lying about her father's death, she could be capable of taking my children and claiming they're hers. My biggest concern is what's next.
Well, Lisa's husband, Jeff, is so fed up that he has banned his sister-in-law from their home. You've been listening to all of this. What do you have to add?
The emotions that her lies create in a household of a sister who cares so much and a brother who's been obviously mortified with the passing of his father, it hurts. I mean, it affects a household and because everybody comes to Alicia. She's like the gel that holds the family together, and everything that happens with Sarah or Stephen comes through her. And it affects your daily life.
You have a child, right? Mm-hmm. A 7-year-old son? Uh-huh. But you don't have custody.
No.
Why?
I let him live with his father. I couldn't take care of him when I was 20.
And do you have a relationship with him now?
No.
But you say you send letters and gifts and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But they are returned.
Yes, his father returns them.
Because we actually have a statement from your first husband.
Okay.
He says, Sarah told our son she would send him money. She never sent him a card or a letter. I would absolutely allow letters and packages to get to him. She doesn't send any. I distrust her so much that I put a password on my son's social security number so Sarah can't steal his identity. So Your first husband says, well, he's worried about you stealing your son's identity. He says you protected his password.
Okay, well...
His social security number with a password.
Okay, well, I don't know why. I wouldn't do that. Whose identity have I ever stolen?
Well, let's talk to Sherry. I'm sorry, did he...
How did I steal your identity?
My Sprint account, I deactivated a phone I let her use when I moved in with her because she was nice. I thought you were normal. And then it turns out I meet your brother, and your brother tells me that you scam people. Well, I go to turn off the cell phone. That day I turn it off, you called Sprint pretending to be me.
I did.
I've never met anyone like you in my life. So basically, I'm in the hole almost $2,000.
That's identity theft.
Yes, okay.
Right, well, you've got to start telling yourself the truth.
When I think of identity theft, I think of, like, using someone's social and going in and becoming them and doing these things. That's the way that I've reasoned with it.
Isn't that what you did with her? I mean, it's clear identity theft.
Yeah, that's what I did.
All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to find out what Sarah says happened in her past that could be a trigger for this kind of behavior. We're going to talk about why people lie when they lie. We'll be right back.
As far back as I can remember, I've lied my way through things.
This is just hard. It's scary when you don't know why you do the things you do. Like, you can't stop it. Like, in order to stop it, I would have to figure out what started it.
I feel like I had a very traumatic childhood. I was put in foster care. Foster care was a horrible experience for me. I feel like what I experienced growing up impacted my life greatly. I feel like what I need is help.
Listen to these reasons and see if any or all of these apply to you. Because there's been a lot of research about why people lie. I mean, everybody lies. I mean, you know, like, does this dress make me look fat? No. You know, white lies. But then there are more difficult lies. Number one, people take what is not rightfully theirs. They do it to get something that isn't theirs. I mean, there's a sense of entitlement. It's like, I want this, and I can't have it, so I'm going to lie to get it in some way. They do it to escape accountability. They create a fantasy, a false self-esteem to escape their mundane life. They do it to avoid punishment. Sometimes they do it to inflict pain. They do it to feel better in the moment, to steal admiration. They don't earn the admiration, they steal admiration. They do it to gain an advantage to exploit others. These are the most common reasons that people lie. How would you score yourself on that list? I mean, obviously, you've done it to take what is not rightfully yours.
I would say probably like 80% of those apply to me at one time or another in lying. I don't do it to inflict pain because I actually don't intentionally want to hurt anybody. That's kind of like the weird thing about it. Like, I don't go for anybody. It's just like it happens and then I can't.
Do you think you lack empathy?
I think that yeah.
What do you say to yourself about what's got to happen for you to stop this?
I don't know, when people say you need help, I don't know what kind of help. Like, they keep, the whole time coming here, I kept being asked the same question. If you have one question for you, what would it be? What would it be? And then the more that I kept talking to the producers and doing my interviews, like, now I kind of wonder if it's like if I'm fixable. I've been doing this for so long, like at least 20 years I've been doing this, so I don't know.
Lying, the common element is escape. And so you got to decide, I don't want to escape. I don't want to escape. I want to stop and deal with it. You know, I heard your brother say something to you at the break. Nobody else heard it, but you heard it. After everything you've done to him, all the pain you've inflicted on him, after all of his text messages saying that he'll never forgive you, what did he say to you at the break?
He said that it took a lot of courage for me to come here, and he knows that.
No, that isn't exactly what he said. He said it takes a lot of courage to come here, and I really respect you for that.
Yes, The gist of it was that he knew that it took
He
a lot of courage.
respected you for being accountable. He respected you for putting it on the line and being here. True?
True.
Coming up, why Lisa says she is afraid for her children.
You can cry, but I don't think you can even begin to feel the pain or the emotions that you've inflicted on your family.
I want every one of you to forgive her. That doesn't mean you forget.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you expose yourself.
Do you ever feel like the people that you're burning are going to try to retaliate against you and hurt you somehow? And most of the time when people go after people who have done something bad, they don't hurt the person who inflicted anything on them because they want something from you. They want their money back. Do you know who they go after?
I never thought about it.
They go after their family members, the people that they care about most. And who do you care about most?
My nieces and nephews.
Yeah, my children. Yeah. My children. And do you ever think about what we go through thinking about, wow, what if someone comes after one of my kids to hurt you? Do you think about what that would do to me?
No, I never.
Or my family?
No.
If someone came after them? I don't think you even begin. You can cry, but I don't think you can even begin to feel the pain that you have inflicted or the emotions that you've inflicted on your family. Not even for this last lie that you've done, but for everything you've done, everybody you've burned. And we're the ones that have to live in fear for it.
You're not the only one that lives in fear for it.
I'm not the one doing it. I shouldn't be the one living in fear.
I understand that.
I am willing to get you some very specialized help with this. People who do what you do have a really damaged self-image and a really low level of self-worth and self-esteem. Because anybody that had any dignity, any self-respect, would not do what you do. And to you, I'll say, you must love her greatly in spite of her, love her greatly, or you wouldn't go to all of this trouble. You obviously love her and want the best for her. Do not trust this woman, because I'm telling you, the best predictor of future behavior is relevant past behavior. If you want to know if she will lie and exploit you in the future, just look and see if she lied and exploited you in the past. History predicts the future. Your job is to begin one day at a time creating a new history. You create a new history. You build a new history where you say something to her, and by golly, it turned out to be right. You say you're going to do something, you show up and you do it. You get asked a question, you tell the truth. You live transparently, and you begin to build a new history, and you earn trust one step at a time. You're in over your head. I will get you help. I will get it immediately. Fair enough? Like your brother, I am very proud that you came here and did this today. This is a giant first step. And I will get you the help right away. Okay? All right. Thanks for that. Lisa, thank you. Thank you. Steve, thank you. Joe, thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Well, for those of you at home, we shoot the show out here in California, in Los Angeles. And when you think of our neighboring Orange County, California, you immediately envision pristine beaches, sprawling hills, layered with beautiful and immaculate homes filled with picture-perfect families, right? Let's live in this beautiful community and fit the image and facade that comes with living there. But their life is far from perfect.
If you were to see the way we live, you would think that our lives were pretty much perfect. From the outside, we look pretty much like the perfect family.
Tiffany's had a drug problem with OxyContin for about 4.5 years. I honestly thought she had beaten the OxyContin addiction.
Being a police officer and knowing that my daughter engages in illegal activities such as using illegal drugs is very embarrassing. Tiffany's been to rehab numerous times, and unfortunately each time she's failed. No parent likes to admit the fact that they may have a child that's addicted to drugs.
Tiffany has a problem when she's using the drug that she turns into two different people. She's like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. She'll be talking to you fine, and then she'll turn around to somebody else and pretty much just rip their head off. I'm fed up with Tiffany. We've tried everything we can to give her what we can afford to give her. One of my worst fears is coming in and finding Tiffany dead.
Look, there comes a point, Ken, Susie, you guys love this girl, right? I mean, this is your daughter, and you love her, and she has had a rough go. She's made some bad choices, and she has to own all of those choices. But I want to be very real about what happens when we're dealing with somebody with a drug history. It doesn't happen in isolation. You are not responsible for her doing drugs. You're not responsible for her doing drugs. That's not what I'm saying at all. But when you have a young person with this kind of history, they don't do it in a vacuum. They do it with their family around them. And your reactions have contributed to it, either positively or negatively. And I want you, before we even start, before we even talk to her, I want you to grade your own papers. If you had this to do over again, Ken, what would you do differently?
I think if I had to do it all over again, I'd probably put more of an emphasis or focus in keeping my first marriage, obviously, together. Or staying married to Susie back years ago when I made the choice to leave. I think over the course of the last 4 or 5 years, I've made choices in terms of probably enabling her to do things that she shouldn't be doing, and that's by financially supporting her in ways that I probably shouldn't, giving her money, buying her car, and just a host of other things like that, I suppose.
When you say that you have enabled her, that's kind of a buzzword everybody uses, but you get what that means is by you financially giving her money, particularly on the heels of her crashing in an effort to get her back up, that you are empowering her to self-destruct. Do you get that?
Yes.
Because you say, well, but I mean, she's in the ditch here. I got to get her out of the ditch. No, it's in that ditch that she may face the fact that she has to make different choices. But if you come along and she totals a car, for example, and you buy her a new one, then listen, kids learn what they live. That's a bad fact, right? And you thought she was completely clean until we called you and said she had written us and said that she wasn't actually clean.
Right.
So how did you miss this? Has she been out of your orbit? Has she been away from you?
Actually, she had just been in a rehab center, and she checked herself out. She wanted to come home because she was hurting so bad with a migraine headache, and the facility wouldn't give her aspirin. She wanted just a Tylenol or something for the headache, and they would not give her the aspirin.
So that's the story she told us.
Well, that's what I think. I don't know any different than that, but that's what I thought.
Well, let's assume that's true, and I think that's complete crap. But
okay. So
I mean, let's
okay.
but let's assume for argument's sake it's true. So she checks herself out, AMA. So these professionals, you know, doctors, nurses, psychologists, psychiatrists, addiction specialists, all, they don't know anything. She knows she needs an aspirin.
Right.
So she's leaving. And she comes where?
She calls me to come pick her up.
And you?
And I picked her up.
And take her?
Back to her boyfriend's house.
Okay, so you're her taxi cab.
Well, she basically told me if I didn't come, he would come when he got off work. That was just the point.
Did you think about calling him and saying, hey, we don't need to be doing this. She needs to stay right where she is and not having a ride. This crisis may pass?
No, I'm sorry, I didn't think about that.
Okay, and listen, I get it. I'm a parent and now a grandparent, and I get how hard it is, which is why I'm talking to you first. Ken,
sure.
You say you've gone into $40,000 debt for things, knowing that she was an addict. $15,000 on dental school after she left rehab the first time, right? She's never completed a rehab, right? She's left early. Okay, car accident. You suspected drug use, and I think that would be a pretty good guess. And she totaled the car?
Yes, sir.
So there's a good chance she was driving under the influence.
Yes.
Fortunately, she didn't kill herself or anybody else.
Yes.
But she totaled the car.
Yes.
And so you just bought her a new one.
Yes.
You know, when you hear it like that, it sounds, when you put it in, you connect the dots.
Even with the headache thing, you know what? I
Yeah.
never doubted her for a second. I didn't.
Yeah, that's why we're talking. Yeah, because I can tell you when she's lying, it's when her lips are moving.
I know that.
Okay,
I know.
now, she was going to be prosecuted for writing bad checks, so you bailed her, right?
Yes.
And what do you suppose she was doing that money she's writing bad checks for? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you still financially support a car insurance, cell phone, health insurance, I mean, all of these things. And then she comes and says, you know, I need money for hair and nails and that sort of thing, and you give it to her. That's what I mean. Enabling's kind of a, you know, it doesn't sound real bad, you say it real fast. But what it actually amounts to is you've got somebody out here that is on self-destruct.
Right.
And in order to continue that self-destruction, she needs funding. And so y'all make sure she has it. And I have to tell you, that is no different than if you went and bought it for her and gave it to her. Because that's what you're doing. You're just not doing the pickup, but you're doing the financing. And she calls you out of rehab and says, come get me. Mom, come on. Why do you suppose she called you?
Because she knew I'd come and get her.
You reckon that she's learned that she's got you under control. You will do what she wants you to do.
Absolutely.
So that has to change. There's nothing that I can do to help your daughter, who we're going to meet here in a minute. There's nothing I can do to help her if you guys continue to do what you're doing. If you do what you're doing, I might as well thank you for coming, wish you the best, refer you to a good funeral home, and send you on your way, because she will die in your own minds and hearts for the rest of your life, simply because we've had this one conversation. You didn't choose the drugs, but you're either going to be part of the problem or part of the solution. I want you to be part of the solution. We'll meet Tiffany after the break. Well, I'm here with Ken and Susie. They are divorced now, but they are the biological parents of a beautiful daughter, Tiffany. She has a history of drugs. Now, they believe that she has been okay and off of drugs until she contacted us. She wrote into us and said, look, I'm living a lie here, and I need help coming clean, confessing where I am, talking about what the truth is. So let's bring Tiffany out so you can meet her and add her to this conversation. Tiffany, Dr. Phil, how are you? Have a seat right here. You wrote me a letter. Why now? Why me?
Because I watch your show like every day. And I've seen you help other families. And I didn't really know what else to do.
So you know I take this very seriously. Well, Tiffany said that she's been lying to her parents for the past year. She says that she is ashamed of where she is and what she's doing. Let's take a look.
My parents have no idea that I'm using heroin. I'm really scared to tell them. I switched from Oxycontin to heroin. My body is sick without heroin. I've been to rehab 3 times. All 3 times I didn't finish the program. Right now I'm spending up to $100 a day on heroin. All my money goes to drugs. I would be borrowing money or getting money from my boyfriend saying I need gas. I pay no bills. My boyfriend pays for our housing, and my dad paid for my car and my cell phone. Using drugs has made me become a liar. In order to get money from my mom, I'll say I need gas or money to eat. I've stolen money from my dad. I've stolen 20 bucks here, 20 bucks there. I feel like I live a completely double life. In the morning, I drive all the way to the methadone clinic to get the methadone, and then I drive to get heroin, and then I try to make it to work by 9:30, but I have to get that just to get through my day. I am gonna drive real quick right now to go meet so I can pick up some heroin. On my lunch break, I go out to my car and I don't even eat lunch on my break. I feel guilty, and I feel like I'm wasting my life. I feel like I'm not ever gonna accomplish anything. I'm so scared, and I never thought my life would end up this way. I don't wanna do this anymore. It's always like this, running around and back and forth. I have to go get something just to make it, you know, through the day.
So, Dad, share what's in your heart.
I'm sorry. Really? I can't even talk.
It's all right. Just talk through the tears. It's all right.
Heroin? Oh, man. I don't know what to say. Honey, that just, you have no idea as your dad what that makes me feel, or how much hurt that just caused. You know, and some of the things that you just said regarding your stealing and doing what you're doing on your lunches. Just living a lie like that.
But half the time in the morning when I go, I just do it to feel normal. Like, it's not fun anymore. It's not. Like, people think like, oh, doing drugs, fun, friends, partying. It's not. It's my survival. It's to function. It's to feel normal, to go be able to take a shower and to go to work and make it through the day without being really sick.
See, and I don't understand, Dr. Phil, where she's coming with feeling normal and stuff. When you get sick, when you've done the detox a couple times, that's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
But yeah, you've failed rehab twice because you've chosen to take yourself out of rehab? Really?
I didn't give enough time for... It takes, like, doctors have told me that it takes, like, up to a month to feel normal, for your body to feel normal again. And I gave in because I just wanted to feel normal.
What do you want to say?
I'm in shock. I didn't know that she was still doing this. I thought she was fine.
I mean, she got a job working at another dentist office not too long ago.
Right when she got out of the rehab facility.
Yeah.
She went right away and got a job so she would pacify us, make us think that things were okay.
She hasn't come around my home because of a relationship or lack of with her stepmother. And that's
I was
why
told I was not welcome in your home.
you're not when you're under the
Okay.
influence or using
No,
drugs.
but you guys thought I was clean, and I was told I was not welcome in your home. And you did not know that I was using.
Well, I knew the other day after you
The
did
other
your-
day,
yeah.
no, I was told I was not welcome in your home when you guys thought that I was clean.
No, but when you came to the home and you were told you weren't welcomed, it was because how you acted at the house and
I'm not talking about on Sunday.
Okay, I'm talking back when you disrespected Christy by yelling at her in our home and
It
acting the
wasn't
way
just
you did.
me.
Regardless, that's what you can't
Okay.
come into our home and talk to Christy like that and expect that you're going to have open arms when you come through the door.
This is the problem. They think that we have family issues because of the drugs, just because of the drugs.
We do.
No.
That's a cop-out, Tiffany.
No.
Yes, because when you're not under the influence and you're a pretty young girl that's sober, we never have issues or problems. Other than I know you're gonna resort back and you're gonna say it's because.
We've always had issues with my stepmother before drugs. Are you kidding me right now?
Are you kidding me when you said that you haven't had a relationship with Christy before? She's helped you detox. Yeah, it's on when you want it to be on, and it's off when you're having issues.
That's not true.
I'll tell you what, we're going to take a super quick break here, and we're going to add this stepmother, Christy, and we're going to talk this out and figure out whether there's a plan we can move forward here when we come back.
I definitely think my stepmom uses my drug use to keep me out of the family.
Grow up, Tiffany. If you're not going to care for yourself, then no one's going to care for you.
I feel like my dad chooses my stepmom and my half-brother over me all the time because he got remarried, and even before I was on drugs, they never would call me.
Unfortunately, because of the drugs, we don't have a relationship like we should have.
I lived with my dad for a little while. He basically just said, you know, the only way you can live here is if you're clean. He would drug test me, so he knew, and he kicked me out.
Tiffany's addiction has had a major impact on my relationship with my current wife.
It says on this page that I'm supposed to, at this age, give her a car and pay her cell phone and pay her insurance and make sure she has money in her pocket all the time.
My dad tells me all the time, oh, you need to be stronger, and what you're doing is stupid, and you're just weak-minded.
I love Tiffany like no tomorrow, but I don't want her in my home unless she's clean and sober. She needs to be locked down. She needs to be taken away from her friends and deal with her issues.
Well, Tiffany's stepmother, Christy, says she does not want Tiffany in her family's life and says, and I quote, "It's a sigh of relief knowing Tiffany is not walking through my door to visit." Take a look.
Me and my stepmom do not get along at all. I feel like my dad has changed so much. My stepmom has changed him. It makes me hate her. My dad has helped me a lot financially, but if I go to his work to have lunch with him, he won't tell her. Like, it'll be a secret from her because she'll get mad or get jealous.
I feel that Ken favors Tiffany over myself, and it's hurtful. When it comes to Tiffany, Ken will put everything on hold for her.
I definitely think my stepmom uses my drug use to keep me out of the family.
Grow up, Tiffany. If you're not going to care for yourself, then no one's going to care for you. I believe in tough love, and she doesn't like that at all. I think Tiffany has been at the point where she will pretty much do anything that she needs to do to get her drug.
Yeah, hate's a big word. You just said, I hate my stepmother. Do you hate Christy?
No, I don't hate her.
Why did you say that?
Because I'm hurt. I feel like I don't have a dad anymore because of her.
Christy, what do you think about the relationship you have with Tiffany? Is it strained?
Yes.
You're happier when she's not there because of what she brings, what she introduces, and what is that?
This is the thing.
Hey, let me ask Christy, what does she bring into your home that makes you glad when she's not there?
Just Ken and I will argue and fight, negative. It's just not a happy, for the most part, it has not been a happy situation when she's around.
Do you resent your father because he divorced your mother and left you?
He traded one family in for another. Even before my drugs, she has said, I am jealous of you and your father's relationship because me and my dad weren't close growing up. This was when I was like 14. No drugs. Okay. So we were close. Like, I was the only girl. We're gonna have a different relationship than him and my brothers. It's different, you know? And she's always said that she's jealous of that. If I go have lunch with him, he can't tell her. One time, I was getting my nails done and he was with me and he got a pedicure and he couldn't tell her. Why is that?
It's not that I can't. It's not that I can't tell her.
You can, but it'll spark a fight, and you avoid the fight
because she brings up valid concerns or issues about you when we're together. My giving you money. Did you give her money? And you're right. I have sometimes not been honest with my wife Christy because of our relationship. And I again apologize. She knows. I've given things to you that I really shouldn't do. Both your mom and Christy have said, you know, why? Why are you doing these things for her?
that she can be like, oh, I believe in tough love. Like, tough love,
obviously,
like,
she's been right, though.
Okay.
I mean,
but it's like, I feel like I have a mom, I have a dad. Like, I don't need another tough person on my case every day. Like,
well,
you can be my stepmom, and she's like, I want to be your friend. Like,
problem is we haven't been as tough as Christy.
No, but I'm not gonna. With our relationship, how it is, like, I didn't grow up with a stepmom, like, knowing, like, oh, my second mom. Like, it wasn't like that. She came into my life, and I was like, oh, say hi to your new mom. Like, my dad told me, I'll never get remarried. I'll make sure that you guys, like, say it's okay and like her and approve. And you went and got engaged and didn't tell us, okay? I remember, we're engaged, coming home. Okay, she got pregnant. The way I found out, I'm sleeping, and my dad comes and wakes me up, and this is when I was like 12, 13, 14, I don't know. Hey, by the way, her family is coming over today, so just a heads up, she's pregnant. Like, are you kidding me?
I honestly don't remember that.
You don't remember anything, though. I do, and it hurts. You don't remember nothing.
Is that your theory of why you've chosen to medicate yourself?
No, I don't blame that on anybody.
What do you blame it on? Because that's what we're talking about here. The fact is you are a heroin addict, and you did heroin today, correct?
This morning.
You've done heroin this morning, before you came here. I'll be right back. The fact is you are a heroin addict, and you did heroin today, correct?
This morning.
You've done heroin this morning, before you came here. Okay, so this has got a grip on you. If you don't do it again soon, you'll start to react, correct? If you don't have a fix before the end of the day, you're going to start.
I'll be sick.
You're going to start getting the flu. You're going to start getting real sick. That's the point that we're at, guys. And you say, you know, I thought she was fine. I don't know if you thought she was fine or you just desperately wanted her to be fine. But she's not fine. And there's a lot of family that goes into this. Do you support her getting sober, getting clean, getting her life together? Because, you know, here's the thing. When you're a heroin addict, you kind of lose all credibility on everything else. But when you take that away, there are going to be some family dynamics here that are loose ends and ugly. They're going to have to be dealt with, and you're either going to be part of the problem or you're going to be part of the solution. Right. And I'll promise you, if you ever do anything to come between this father and his daughter, it will wind up biting you really bad. He will resent you for it for the rest of his life. Because if you want a relationship with your husband, you will support his relationship with his children. And vice versa. I mean, you'll support her relationship with her mother. And you will support her relationship in treating his current wife with dignity and respect. Whether you like her or whether you don't, I don't know how y'all get along. I don't really know of one thing in this family that's working well right now. It's just like we're in denial here. It's just like look straight ahead and there are no problems on the sides, but there are. And if you don't think that heroin addiction is fatal, let me tell you, it can be fatal. This has disaster written all over it. Do you see why I talked to you before we brought her out? Because if we continue to do what we've always done, where you get into some kind of treatment somewhere or whatever, and then you decide, well, okay, I want to feel normal again. So you come up with some excuse to walk out the door, and you answer that call and go get her and bring her home and just tuck her right in, and here's $60. Now go get your nails done. You saw her doing her nails on the video.
Sure did.
That's her doing her nails. Do you not resent her using you and playing you for a fool all this time? Mm-hmm. She knew you loved her. She knew you were committed to her, and she used that against you to deceive and betray you. Mm-hmm. Your mother has said, and I quote, I will drop everything, and she emphasized everything, if she needs me. 100% accessible for her. I want her to know I love her. And you know that, and you use it to stab her in the back, and shame on you for doing it. Anybody that will take something as pure as a mother's love and use it to get to drugs and betray her, that's terrible. She says if you can't afford to eat, she will cook for you. She takes you to the methadone clinic. Oh, come on. That is what I think of that. That has to be over. That is the relationship you have had. It is now shut down. It is ripped in half. Because if they're not willing to do what I am asking them to do, I wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. I wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. Because you need somebody to tell you the truth. And the truth is you are a spoiled brat, Missy, and they have spoiled you. And so you come out here in your self-righteous, sanctimonious way and criticize the manner in which they parent and the fact that your father deceived you. You're the biggest liar in the building. Do you get that? Don't roll your eyes and look at me. I'm telling you the truth. If there's anything I'm telling you that won't withstand challenge, then bring it on. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. I'm telling you, you're the biggest liar in the building. Now, you tell me I'm wrong.
I know I am.
I'll be right back. You're the biggest liar in the building. Do you get that? Don't roll your eyes and look at me. I'm telling you the truth. If there's anything I'm telling you that won't withstand challenge, then bring it on. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. I'm telling you, you're the biggest liar in the building. Now, you tell me I'm wrong.
I know I am.
Well, then why are you rolling your eyes like some entitled little brat?
I wasn't rolling my eyes.
Oh, okay. Does it seem like I know an awful lot about y'all's family?
Sure does.
Do you know why I do? There are two reasons I know. One is y'all have been very candid and forthcoming. And the other reason that I know so much about you is it's like looking through a picture window. It is so transparent. Lassie could figure this one out. You buy her a car after she totals it on drugs. Dad, come on. You've got to know, when you look at that, 20/20 hindsight, as they always say, you look back at that, you think, you know what, I just loaded the gun and gave it right back to her, right?
Yeah. You know, I don't have any excuse for it other than, you know,
you don't need one.
Yeah.
What you don't need an excuse because you love her. I get that. I do. And I respect y'all as parents. I do. Which may sound funny because I'm saying you're doing so much wrong, but your intention is good. But you are so misguided. And do you see, no matter what I was to do with her, if you continue to, I'm accessible 100%, just call me. I'll pick you up. Hungry? Let me fix you something. Here's $60. You know, go do this. Need a new car? Here you go. No problem. Steal from me? I'll look the other way. There would be no reason in the world for me to do it.
Right.
You see, I take a very different approach to this than you do. My approach is that you call a spade a damn shovel, saying that this is a spoiled, entitled heroin addict that expects you to bail her out and let her abuse herself in a way that is life-threatening. That can't happen. It cannot happen. And if you can't come over to my side in the way this is handled, then there's no pointing us going forward.
And we're there. Trust me.
On your side.
This is this. Don't know what else to do, Dr. Phil. That's why I'm here. I mean, I think I mentioned I've thrown in the towel. I don't know what else to do for my daughter.
I want you to pick the towel back up and put it around your neck because you're going to need it. You're going to need it. You're a cop.
Yes, sir.
I need you to bring the professional skepticism to this that you would if you picked up one of these people's kids. And you know what? If you love her, And I know that you do. And I believe that you do as well. I think you've come to know this child, and I think you love her. She needs to know that this is the last time around the track, that you're not going to do this with her anymore. Right. And so I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to dismiss y'all right now. I want you guys to go back to the green room without me. And I want you to have a conversation among yourselves back there. And you're either going to come back out here and tell me that everybody's on the same page here. No more coddling this kid. She goes where she needs to go for however long she needs to go, and she has to do whatever she has to do. And let me tell you something. It ain't some 28-day wonder. And very likely, if you do what I might make available to you based on what I hear from this group when you come back, you might never, ever return to your hometown again, ever. Because that's where you do drugs. That's where you get the stuff. That's where your triggers are. That's where it happens. I'm talking about, we're not going to do this just to kind of fill the square and make nice television. I'm saying you may wind up living in Eugene, Oregon, or Paris, France, I don't know, but you won't be back where you threaten your own life with drugs every day. Your life as you know it is going to change dramatically, or I want no part of this. I want no part of this if we're not going all the way. And so you guys, I'm not going to waste the resources. I want you guys to go back. Bones, AJ, I want to take these guys back. We will shut this show down and let you speak as a family. And we're just going to take a big, long break until you get back.
Right? We're doing this. This is it. This is the last time. This is it. We're done. We're clean. We're sober. We're going to be responsible adults and make good decisions. Right? From now on, 2 choices, you're going to make the right one, the good one. Right?
And whatever Dr. Phil says is what you're going to do.
You got to want it, Sid. You don't
you
want
have
it?
to want
I do want it.
Okay.
Not us.
Let's do it. Let's do a group hug. Come on. All right. Love you, right?
We're in agreement. We're in.
Whatever we got to do.
We're in.
We're back. You've just been watching a couple of commercial messages for a few minutes, but we've actually been gone a pretty good while because I asked Tiffany, her biological parents Ken and Susie, and stepmother Christy to go backstage and discuss whether or not they are ready, not just as Tiffany, but as a family unit, to do what has to happen to really give Tiffany a chance to get clean and sober once and for all. And I have to say, you know, one of the things that frustrates me most in this profession over the years is people that, like, they'll have a kid or someone that's creating a lot of problems, and they'll drag them to the altar of the therapist, drop them off, and say, okay, fix them, and we'll be back when you call. Well, it's just not that easy. You know, no, you're not going to just drop them off. Everybody's staying. Everybody's staying because there's more to it than just her. You're the squeaky wheel, you're making the noise, but it's about everybody. So I ask you guys to go back and sit down and see if you could redefine a family dynamic here, because I can't do this if y'all are going to sabotage me. Tell me what you have to say.
We're hopeful you can give us some guidance or put us on a path to whatever we need to do to save our daughter. And she wholeheartedly has shared with us that she wants help. I'm just pleased to know that she is still reaching out for some help. And us as a family, we want her here. And I feel, I'm going to go, and you've enlightened me a lot on some of the things that I've done, that I've recognized that I guess the car and the monies and all those things, I think we're going to come to grips with that as well.
Now, I want you to look me in the eye and tell me, I said I was 100% accessible to her.
Oh, 110% I'm doing this. She's done.
You get it.
I get
You're
it.
tired of
I
being
get it.
used. You're tired of being manipulated. You're
Done.
tired of her using your love as a mother against you.
Done.
You're done.
Done.
No cars, no money, no
Done.
excuses. You're
Nope.
through parenting out of guilt.
She can live under a bridge.
Because you've been parenting from guilt.
Done.
You're behind this 100%.
Yes.
You want to do this?
I do.
There's no leaving this time. You start making noise about leaving, we'll get a 5150 commitment, put your ass right back where you were. And you understand that they're now on my side.
Yep.
And I'm on your side. So we're all pulling for you. I have what I believe are the best people in the country to do this. Rich Whitman, stand up if you would. I've worked with Rich for a number of years. He is now, he's part of our team here. And he guides us and gives us input on placements and where people need to be and that sort of thing. Because we have to be the only television show in the history of television and on the globe that does this for our guests. I mean, we have a 100% resource program. Whoever comes on our show, I'm never under the impression that I'm doing 8-minute cures up here. I don't think I've cured your family dynamic. What I've tried to do is be a compass for you, an emotional compass that gives you a wake-up call, gets your attention, and points you in the right direction. And then I'm going to provide, through their help, resources to empower you as a family to be a positive instead of a negative in this. So you're going to have to do a lot of work in her absence. It isn't just like, okay, got rid of her, woohoo. You got a lot of work to do while she's gone. And I'm going to provide that to you at our expense, not yours.
Thank you.
And what I ask in return is you grab on with both hands and you do this. Velvet, stand up if you would. This is Velvet Mangum. She's here. Velvet is the CEO and founder of Safe Harbor Treatment Center for Women. Velvet, your facility is going to meet her on many different levels, not just detox and addiction, but all of the issues that particularly women face in dealing with this. Talk about that a little bit.
Absolutely. There's a long process to recovery, and it begins with admission, and that's what this family's done today.
You are burning the bridge behind you right here, as scary as that is. We've done this before. Okay? All right. Deal? We'll be right back. I want to thank all of my guests today, and a very special thanks to Safe Harbor Treatment Center for Women and on-site workshops. I really appreciate the skill that they bring to this. Look, drug addiction is a disease, but it can be controlled. It can be managed. We've got lots of resources on drphil.com. So if you're in that situation yourself or somebody you love, go there, but it doesn't get better with time. Don't put it off. Thanks for being here.